Be it nasal blockage, pain on the cheekbone, or numbness, when we adults experience these symptoms, we talk about them. We seek help. But imagine the plight of toddlers. There is no way they can explain their pain to us. Even those around the age of 10 to 12 struggle when it comes to explaining what exactly they're feeling or differentiating between, say, a throbbing pain and a constant pain. It's the plight of these young ones that has failed to get a voice in the pandemic. Let me begin with a little recap. For the longest time, children were thought to be safe from the Wuhan virus. In April 2020, the United Nations, in a policy brief, said, and I'm quoting here, this is from the UN, "Children are not the face of the pandemic. They have been largely spared from the direct health effects of COVID-19. Then a Harvard study in August 2020 called children the silent spreaders of the virus. In short, children were considered to be carriers, not victims of the virus. 1 year into the pandemic, children are dying of the Wuhan virus. Babies as young as 1.5 months are in need of medical intervention. They're showing symptoms like fever, cough, and cold. There are also asymptomatic cases. Again, for the longest time, it was thought that asymptomatic children have low levels of infection. It turns out that theory too may no longer hold. Asymptomatic children are now developing complications, life-threatening complications, in fact, weeks after being infected. A tweet about one such case was widely shared a few days ago. It was an account of a mother whose 11-year-old son had developed a rare and dangerous illness, something called MISC, multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, MISC. And the mother writes about her son's bloodshot eyes, rash all over his body, continuing vomiting. She says her son had difficulty staying up and responding. The child had developed a multi-organ inflammation by the time he was taken to hospital and examined. The mother writes, and I'm quoting here, "We were told that if he had not been admitted when we did, we would have missed the boat." The child began showing symptoms of MISC at least 4 weeks after being infected by the virus, and no one knew that the child even had COVID in the first place. He was asymptomatic. It took a life-threatening illness for the cat to come out of the bag. Now, MISC was first linked to the Wuhan virus in April 2020. Pediatric doctors from London reported cases of the immune system in children being triggered inappropriately after being infected by the virus. More than a year on, we still do not have a way to stop that. Why? Because we still don't have vaccines for children, at least the majority of them. In the Indian state of Maharashtra alone, more than 60,000 children tested positive for the Wuhan virus between the 1st of March and the 4th of April. There is an information deficit. No awareness about the kind of symptoms kids may show when infected or about MISC. What should parents be looking out for? We don't know. Our children today are battling a second wave unshielded, and they're going for a third one. They're bracing for a third one. Latest estimates say the third wave will hit India by October 2021. These are estimates, and October is still 5 months away. Will things be any different by then? The only way to protect our children is by getting them vaccinated, and so far, only a couple of rich countries have begun doing that. In the United States, children between the age group of 12 to 15 will now be able to take the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. Pfizer's vaccine has been tested in the 12 to 15 age group, and these were given. They were given the same dosage as adults. They showed the same side effects, like sore arms or chills and aches. Last week, Canada included those above the age of 12 to its inoculation program. The EU is also likely to follow suit. Authorities say the European Union could approve the Pfizer jab for children above the age of 12 as early as this month. As we speak, vaccine trials are on in children as young as 6 months old. And while this may sound morally wrong to a lot of you, to conduct trials on 6-month-old babies, this is the only way out. Vaccination is the only way out of this pandemic, and vaccinating children and adults alike is the need of the hour. Think about it. Will you feel safe stepping out of your home after vaccination if the youngest member of your family is still at risk? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.